Hey guys, and welcome back to Base Station DB. So we've got a pretty long video today, so I'm going to quickly run through the deck profile and we're going to jump straight into it. So we have Nightmare on 560 Rush to start us off. The deck build is pretty similar to, it's pretty much the same as the last few weeks, to be honest. So if you've been watching recently, not much is altered. Wizard Rod on 160 Hexa, and we have the Silver Wolf on 960 Freeball. So yeah, that's the deck build. But quickly, just before we jump into the video, I want to give a quick shout out to my friends in Nottingham who have been working on some really cool custom stickers for your launchers and grips. They'll be in the video anyway, but I also have my stickers as well that are really cool. So yeah, if you're interested in getting them, guys, they have an Etsy which will be linked below. So yeah, get your stickers, guys, and upgrade your launchers, make them look cooler. But yeah, we're going to jump straight into the video now, guys. So without further ado, let's get started. Right, so we have round one here. We have Jamie A versus Trey. Trey there with the Aero Pegasus there. Jamie A with the Chain Incendio, I believe. Few heavy hits early on. Trading blows here around the stadium. A huge hit from the Aero Pegasus there. There's just about enough to take the rest of Jamie's stamina, so 1-0 to Trey. We now have the Sting Unicorn against the Silver Wolf here. And a extreme there from Jamie. Flips the match on the head, and he now leads 3-1 going into the third blades here. The Pegasus Blast against the Keel Shark. And a heavy burst sees Jamie A take the victory here in round one. As we now go into our second match, we now have Jamie P versus Jocelyn. Impact Drake versus that beautiful red Buster Dran there. The return of the Nottingham lot this week. Always nice to see them. And it was almost an extreme there for Jocelyn. She only takes the point in the end. As we go into the second blades now, Jamie P with the Cobalt Dragoon and Jocelyn with the Aero Pegasus here. A huge hit from the Cobalt Dragoon sends that Aero Pegasus into the pocket, and now Jamie P leads as we go into a mirror match here, both using Phoenix Wing. Jamie's on that turbo ratchet bit though, which is an interesting choice, so we'll see how it does here. Some heavy attacks, but Jamie just manages to see the victory out there. So it's now 3-1, and after the reshuffle, it's Cobalt Dragoon against Buster Dran here. Jamie only needing the point. That's Cobalt Dragoon missing a few dashes there, as does the Buster Dran. As it looks like we're coming to a spin victory here for Jamie. And yeah, Jamie takes the win in the end there. As we go into the third match now, Frankie versus Jonathan. Jonathan with another lovely Buster Dran there against Frankie's Foxbrush. And as soon as that one started, it was over. Both blades did make contact with the stadium, but unfortunately Jonathan just seemed to bounce into Frankie afterwards and straight out of the stadium. So 2-0 to Frankie here going into the second blades. Pegasus versus Rod now, and Jonathan flips the match on the head with the extreme there to make it 3-2. Going into the third blades now, Silver Wolf against Phoenix Wing, and Frankie returns the favour with the extreme on Jonathan there and takes a victory for her first round match. next round we have, well, next match, sorry, we have Jazz versus Alex. And still round one, my bad. Both of them here with some very, very beautiful looking bays, but Alex gets the pocket on Jazz there to take the 2-0 lead. Going into the second blades now. A lot of Aero Pegasus is flying around tonight. As we get this second battle underway here, Jazz has got to recover from a 2-0 deficit here if he's to win this one. Each of them trading blows. But as we head into the last seconds of this battle, Jazz has the stamina to see that one out. And now Jazz with his Aero Pegasus against Alex's Phoenix Wing in this one. Huge contact there. But a lovely X dash knocks Jazz into the pocket, and Alex takes the victory. And for the final match of the first round, me and Kane here. Me with the Wizard Rod, Kane with the Buster Dran, as per Kane's usual there. But he gets the extreme on me there. So I've got it all to do now as I go with my Nightmail against Kane's Wizard Rod here. So it's not looking good for me here. I'm just hoping Nightmail can get a quick pocket, but as this battle continues to go on, it's looking less and less likely. Especially as we speed through that little section there. And yeah, Kane absolutely clean sweeps me there as we go into round 2. Here we go now, Frankie versus Kane for round 2. Here we go. Kane with the Buster Dran, Frankie with the Fox Brush here. Kane very confident in himself for this one, but we're underway here. A few heavy hits on both blades early on, but it's Kane that ties first as Frankie takes the first point there, going into the second blades now, and it is a rod off. Kane on 960 ball and Frankie on 160 hexa, I believe. Trying to teach her the way of the 160 hexa. But she gets the pocket on Kane there, so it's now 3-0. Winning the rod off on this one as we go into Silver Wolf against Sword Dran here. And we're underway here in this third battle here. And a huge extreme from Kane helps him level things off here, so each player only needs a point. Frankie goes for the Fox Brush and Kane goes for the Wizard Rod. And a huge burst sees Kane take the victory there. As Kane's prophecy about that match came true. We now have Jamie A versus Jamie P here. Jamie A with the Chain Incendio, Jamie P with the Impact Drake here. As we get this underway here, a few heavy hits early on. As that Impact Drake manages to get tilted a bit there, and Jamie A has the stamina to see that one out. Second blades now, Sting Unicorn against Phoenix Wing here, and contact made early on here. Few heavy hits from the Phoenix Wing there, but the Sting Unicorn happy to return them as Jamie outspins Jamie P there, Jamie A. As we go into the third blades now. And a nice little pocket there for Jamie P, levels things off in this battle of the Jamies. As we go Chain Incendio into Cobalt Dragoon here after the reshuffle. Trading blows again as the Cobalt Dragoon almost got pocketed there. As we go towards the mid to late game here, which one of these Beyblades has more gas in the tank? Well, I suppose we'll find out shortly. It looks to me like the Cobalt's slowing down, but we know this is definitely Cobalt Dragoon territory in this late game. And even when it looks like it's finished, it always seems to manage to hold on, as it does on this occasion, and Jamie P takes the slight lead now as we go into the Unicorn versus Drake here. Jamie P just needs a point, Jamie A needs 2 if he wants to see his way to victory this time around. But he'll have to settle with a point for here as we now go into the third blades on this second rotation. We get underway here. Next point wins, and Jamie A gets the pocket on Jamie P to see him to victory. Going into the next match now, we have Alex versus Jocelyn, 2 of the Nottingham Bladers here, 2 very competitive Bladers, both of them pulling out the Buster Dram to begin with. As we get this one underway, and a huge hit early on from Alex, sees her take the spin win. And another mirror match on this one as well. Both of them going with the Aero Pegasus here. Have they got the same deck? Maybe. We're underway here. Couldn't tell you who's who right now. But it was Alex that got the extreme on Jocelyn, as I think we're about to figure it out here. Yeah, we literally had to figure it out via the bits in the end. But yeah, Alex with a quick win in that round as we go into Jazz versus Jonathan, 2 of the other Nottingham players here. And a big burst early on sees Jazz take a 2-0 lead. Going into the second blades now, and it's Rod versus Aero Pegasus. Trading a few heavy blows there, but it is Jonathan that takes the points there. So it's 2-2. And we've got Cobalt Dragoon versus Phoenix Wing here, both of them with that beautiful black coat on them. But the pocket there goes to Jonathan, and Jonathan takes the victory over Jazz in this round. Next match, we've got myself versus Trey. Nightmare versus the Pegasus Blast here. And that Pegasus Blast missing that menacing extreme. X-Dash, but manages to stick me in the pocket in the end. So it's 2-0 to Trey. Rod versus Aero Pegasus here. And I've got to try and pull this one back from here now. But Trey almost knocks me into the pocket. I get back out and knock him into the extreme. We looked at the footage to call that in the end. But yeah, it's 3-2 to me now. And after a small little bit of contact there, Trey puts himself pretty much in the pocket there as I take the victory. Going into round 3 now, though, we've got Jamie A versus Alex. And Jamie takes the early extreme there. A little unfortunate there for Alex. We've got Keel Shot now versus Buster Dram. Both heavy attack types here, so will there be any big points scored in this match? Each of them trading blows as they both begin to tie pretty early in this match, as we are used to expecting with these blades, but Alex gets the point there. And now we have Chain Incendio versus Phoenix Wing now. A massive hit there. Few actually. As this match becomes pretty erratic. But Jamie A gets the burst on Alex there and takes the victory. Going into the next match now, we've got Jonathan versus Kane. Jonathan with that beautiful Buster Dram against Kane's. And he manages to get the pocket on him to make it 2-0. Aero Pegasus versus Wizard Rod now. And a few heavy hits from the Pegasus there. It hasn't managed to pocket the rod just yet. But there's a burst, and Kane ends up taking the loss there, and Jonathan wins. So now we have Frankie versus Trey. Frankie, of course, making it to top cut last week. Can she do the same this week? Both bladers here with the Silver Wolf out as they trade blows. This is quite an aggressive battle for two stamina type Beyblades, as one begins to tire here and Frankie takes the lead. That Hex a bit, just not having enough stamina there for Trey. As we go into the second blades now. And yeah, Trey manages to reply. There was a slight little bit of contact in there, so 2-1. As we go into the third blades now, Fox Brush against Pegasus Blast, I believe, on this occasion. Yep. The Pegasus Blast gets a few early hits in, but the Fox Brush ends up pocketing Trey in the end, and Frankie wins that one. Jocelyn versus Jazz now. And we're underway here. Each of them managing to avoid each other for the most part of this battle so far. Before they start both hitting the X rail there for a second. It looks like this is coming down to a spin win now for Jazz. As we go into the second blades now. And a big heavy hit there early on manages not to result in a pocket. Will this come down to stamina, or will we have any high scoring points in this particular battle? As the rod misses the X dash there. Very uncharacteristic of Rod, but it does hold out, and Jocelyn takes the point to make it 1-1. Going into the third blades now. Got that busted round against the Aero Pegasus this time round. And trading a few heavy blows there. As the Pegasus just has enough in the tank there. And Jocelyn now manages to flip the match on its head. She goes with a Aero Pegasus of her own now. After the reshuffle. Against the busted round, I believe, this time round. But Jazz takes the 2 points there, getting the pocket on that Aero Pegasus. It's now 3-2. Jazz only needing a point to win now. And Jocelyn could do with at least a burst or a pocket, which she manages to get. And Jocelyn wins the match there. Unfortunate there for Jazz, but yeah, that burst came pretty quick into that last little battle there. We now go into Jamie P versus myself at the end of round 3 now. My Nightmare against his Impact Drake. And unfortunately, it manages to get the burst on me. He's trying to make the argument that he gets the extreme there, but we know the burst comes first. So 2-0 to Jamie. And now it's my Silver Wolf against his Phoenix Wing. I just wanted to stay out of its way at the start of this battle, but there we go, that turbo bit kicking in there. But it manages not to pocket the Wolf in the end, as it looks like I get the spin win on this particular one. Going into the third blades now, Cobalt Dragoon against Rod. He's got the anti-Rod out here now. And can I manage to beat the Cobalt Dragoon here, as it misses the mark on a couple of its attacks, as we head into that Cobalt Dragoon territory now, although he does seem pretty tired at the moment. But I've seen crazier things. I've seen very tired looking Cobalt Dragoons beat Rods at this stage of the game before, but on this particular occasion, the Rod just get the victory, and now it is level. Now it's my Wolf against the Cobalt Dragoon. Kind of knew that was coming after the reshuffle then. So now I'm just hoping that the Silver Wolf can outspin it this time. Jamie unfortunately kind of mislaunched his bay. He mentioned at the time, but I end up massively heavily tilted, so maybe that sort of level things out here as we go towards the end of this battle. But yeah, Jamie still manages to get the victory then, regardless of his weak launch there. And here we go, Impact Drake versus Rod, and the Rod gets pocketed for a second, but as it often does, it's jumped back out and knocks the Impact Drake into the pocket, so I take the win. As we go into round 4 now, Jamie A and Kane. Shane Incendio against Buster Dran here. But the Incendio gets the pocket on the Buster, so Jamie takes a 2-0 lead. As we go into the second base now, the Sting Unicorn now against the Wizard Rod. And Jamie gets another pocket on Kane. Clean sweeping Kane there. As we go into the next match, we've got Jamie P and Jazz this time. Few heavy hits early on, and Jazz gets the pocket on Jamie P to make it 2-0. Going into the second blades, Cobalt Dragoon versus Aero Pegasus now. And that Pegasus gets pocketed for a second, but manages to jump out. Or will that be enough of a stamina drain though for Jamie to see the victory here? Or will that Aero Pegasus of Jazz's hold on? And it seems to look like it's getting the better of the Cobalt Dragoon here, as it just about does. So Jazz is now 3-0 up, just needs a point. Jamie P with it all to do here. We get this one underway here now. Trading blows, and Jamie gets the extreme, which helps him with playing catch up there. It's 3 apiece now. Next point wins as we go into the Wizard Rod versus Cobalt Dragoon. So you know this will be an interesting one. Few heavy hits from that Rod early on. Each of them trading blows. Very aggressive battle for this type of matchup, as that Rod looks like it's starting to tilt. Does the Cobalt Dragoon have enough in the tank to win this one, or can Jazz manage to restabilise here? Yeah, that Ratchet is very exposed there, being chased by that Cobalt Dragoon. It manages to restabilise now, so it's anybody's game, and it is Jazz that just takes it in the end despite that huge tilt. A very impressive little match there as we go into our next match now, which is Jocelyn versus Trey, and it's Aero Pegasus versus Silver Wolf to start us off here. And we're underway now. Both blades trading blows early on here. But Trey gets the burst on Jocelyn there. Although his wolf disappeared shortly after that. But yeah, oh sorry, it was the other way around. So yeah, it's Jocelyn that got the burst on Trey. My bad. But here we go into the second base now. Huge X-Dash missing the mark there, as does that Wizard Rods. Very, very intense battle here, as the blades are going all over the stadium. But it is Trey that gets the point in the end, so it's 2-1 now. Phoenix Wing versus Aero Pegasus. There we go, both blades trading blows. But it's Jocelyn that manages to get the pocket there and take the victory. Heading into our next match now, we have Frankie versus Alex. Frankie with the Silver Wolf, Alex with the purple busted round here. But on this particular occasion, Alex gets the burst on Frankie, so it's now 2-0. We've got a Nightmare versus Wizard Rod match here. Battle of the Green Bays here. Which one is superior? And on this occasion, it's the Nightmare. As Alex gets... Oh, wait, it jumps back out. It manages to jump back out, so the battle's not over yet. It may have just spared Frankie another 2-point loss there, as Alex only needs one to see this through now. And we've got Foxbrush versus Aero Pegasus. Frankie offered a lifeline at the end of that last battle. But unfortunately, the burst came before anything else, so Alex takes the victory as we go into the final match of round 4. Myself versus Jonathan. Buster Dran versus Nightmare. As we get underway here, each base trading blows. Nightmare coming in from the top twice there, still doesn't manage to get the pocket, but does manage in the end, and it is now 2-0 to myself. Aero Pegasus versus Wizard Rod here for the second battle. And both blades are out here now, trying to take control of this battle. Trading blows here as my rod looks to take centre stage here now. Can the Aero Pegasus budge me? He does manage to knock me out of the centre now, as this looks like it's coming down to a stamina battle now, which I managed to have just about enough in the tank there to see that one out. As we go into the third blades now, Phoenix Wing against my Silver Wolf. I just need a point now, so all I want to do is stay out of his way, launch into his top pocket there. But for a second there, it looked like he could have got a pocket on me. But it seems like Jonathan's out of stamina here now, and I take the victory there as we now head into round 5. Jazz versus Trey. And we're underway here now. 2 blasts out there. But, yeah, the burst goes Jazz's way on this particular occasion. So he's 2-0 up now against Trey. As we go into another mirror match now, we've got a Pegasus off now. So already I have no idea whose is whose. So, but the points go to Trey on this occasion. So it's 2-2 now. Absolute nightmare to judge when you have mirror matches like that. But going into the third blades now. And we've got Trey with the Silver Wolf and Jazz with the Wizard Rod here. As each of them chase each other around the stadium, trading blows. Very aggressive start to what would be considered a stamina battle, usually. But both blades going all out to try and knock each other out. Unfortunately, though, it does look like that Silver Wolf is starting to falter, and Jazz takes the lead there. As we go into the blast now against the Aero Pegasus. And impressive stadium out, double stadium out, but it was the Pegasus that left before, so Jazz takes the victory. As we go into the next match, Jocelyn versus Frankie now. And we're underway now. Both Beyblades trading blows. Aero Pegasus looking menacing there, but ultimately puts itself in the pocket in the end as Frankie takes the 2-0 lead. We now have the Silver Wolf of Frankie's versus the Wizard Rod of Jocelyn here. As we seem like we're slowly heading towards that stamina conclusion here. As the Wizard Rod begins to run out of steam here, and Frankie picks up her third point now, only needing 1 point to seal the victory. As we go into the third blades now, Jocelyn's Phoenix Wing against Frankie's Fox Brush. Jocelyn still needs to put points on the board here. Got a long way to come back if she wants to win this one. Can she do it here though with the Phoenix Wing? And take it into a reshuffle. She does manage that, so now it's 3-1 as we head into the reshuffle. Let's see who each other choose. So Jocelyn goes with the Phoenix Wing, Frankie with the Wizard Rod. Frankie only needs a point to seal this, so can the Wizard Rod do what it often does and pick up that 1 point that she needs? Although the Phoenix Wing will try everything possible to make sure that doesn't happen. But the Rod does get the spin win and Frankie takes the victory there. Going into our next match now, we have Alex versus Kane. Battle of the Buster Drans here. Each of them trading heavy blows early on, but Kane gets the pocket and decides that it wants to make sure that it stays in as well by jumping in there himself for a second. It's 2-0. We now have Night Mail against the Wizard Rod, I believe, this time. And that Night Mail with a huge attack there, pocketing the Rod there. So yeah, it's 2-2 now. As we go into the third blades now, Sword Dran against Aero Pegasus. And we're underway here now. Swordran getting a few heavy hits in, but has it gassed itself out? No. But Alex does manage to get the pocket on Kane, so Alex takes the victory there. As we go into the next battle now, Jamie P versus Jonathan. Jamie with the impact rate, Jonathan with that Buster Dran. And a huge extreme there from Jamie. Sees him take 3 points in this one. Only 1 point now needed to seal it as we go into a Cobalt Dragoon versus Aero Pegasus match here. This one can usually go either way. Can Jonathan reply here? Each blade's trading blows, and Jonathan does get the pocket on Jamie now, so it's 3-2. Closing down that deficit as we go into a mirror match here now. Both of them with the Phoenix here. Jonathan branding that black Phoenix Wing though, which gets pocketed there. We're just going to check though. There was contact. They both made contact with the stadium too. So yeah, Jamie takes the victory there as we go into this next match against Jamie A. Me versus Jamie A here. In the last match of round 5 before top cut, as each blade trades blows early on. But my Nightmare just manages to outspin the Keel Shark there. As we go into the next round, Chain Incendio versus Wizard Rod here. I just managed to launch up into that top corner to begin with. As we go into what is more than likely a stamina battle now. But after a few big hits and a few dashes around the rail, my Rod does manage to have the stamina to see out the Chain Incendio of Jamie there. As we go into the third blades now, Silver Wolf against his Sting Unicorn on this occasion. And he starts by circling my Wolf, gets a big hit in and gets the pocket in the end. So it's 2-2 now going into the reshuffle. Jamie choosing to go with that Chain Incendio first, me going with the Wolf, my ultimate stamina bay in this particular deck build, with the Rod being on Hexa. So I'm looking to hunt for that 1 point, but Jamie gets the pocket on me and takes the victory as we head into top 4 now. So top 4, we have Jamie A and Frankie in the first match. As we get the first semi-final underway, Frankie takes a 2-0 lead to start us off. Going into the second blades now. Chain Incendio versus Silver Wolf here. Sorry for that little bang in the background, guys. I do apologise. I was just trying to close the window as there's some children out in the garden. But yeah, this one looks like it's heading down to a stamina battle, as we come to expect to these two blades. But Frankie takes the lead there, so now it's 3-0 as we go into the third blades now before the reshuffle. And this is to 7 points now, as it is top cut. Both blades trading blows there, neither managing to falter. But Frankie does get a burst on the end in Jamie. A very late burst, might I add, to make it 5-0. Can Jamie come up with a reply now? So far, this has all been without reply. As we head into the Wizard Rod versus Chain Incendio battle here. Another stamina battle here, as we zoom through portions of this one. But after a few heavy hits, the Rod does take the win just in the end there. Frankie only needing a point to seal the victory now. She's got to rely on the Fox Brush though to do this. And Jamie takes a little trip to the extreme zone for just a second, but manages to escape. But does he have the stamina though to see this out? Unfortunately not. The Fox Brush has just enough in the tank as Frankie makes it to the final. Going into the second semi-final now, we have myself and Alex representing Nottingham here in this semi-final. As we go into the first round, Buster Dran versus my trusty Nightmare here. He's managed to stay in the deck for the last 3 weeks now, so it's been proven its worth, sort of. It gets pocketed for a little second there, but manages to jump back out. So it does save me losing 2 points there rather than just the one. Going into the second blades now, and Alex brings her Nightmare out against my Wizard Rod. So both blades dance around each other to begin with, and manages to get an extreme on me. So now I'm 4-0 down. Really need to lock in now and try and pull this one back, as I have to rely on my Silver Wolf to get me started here. But it does manage to get me the burst there on the Arrow Pegasus, so it's 4-2. I've got points on the board now. We can see a way back into this now. After the reshuffle though, we go for the mirror match here. Each of us with the Nightmare here, the only difference being a couple of the other parts. So yeah, it's nice to see both of us sporting Nightmare here in the final. I believe it's a heavily slapped on bay. But most people have their opinions, either one way or the other with Nightmail. So, maybe leave us a comment on what you think about Nightmail. Do you use it yourself? Do you find it competitive? Let me know. Yeah, But Alex's Nightmare got the better of mine there, so it's 5-2 now. She widens the gap again now. As we get this battle underway here now. And the Wolf again coming up trumps here with another 2-pointer. This time in the form of a pocket rather than a burst. But the Rod picking me up all my points. The Wolf picking me up all the points so far. But yeah, I managed to end up flipping the match on the head there with the Rod there. The judge did call contact, and looking at the footage as well, there was a little bit of it. So unfortunate there for Alex, but it's now 6-5 to me, and now I managed to find myself a point away from victory. And Silver Wolf again gets the pocket and gets me the victory there as we go into the final. Myself versus Frankie. Frankie making a second Top Cut appearance this week. She's been improving her game a lot recently, in recent weeks, and it shows with her places in the tournaments recently. But this battle is now underway, and she is up against the 4-time champ at this current moment in time. So it's a tough test for her. Can she do it though? Can she get the gold? However, it may have to start with a different Beyblade though, as my Silver Wolf manages to outspin there, going into the second blades. And it's my Wizard Rod against her Silver Wolf. Both bays stamina types, but that Wolf is on free ball. My Rod is on Hexa, so it's very likely that the Wolf can get the spin win here. But my Rod just about manages on. Could have gone either way that one. As we go into the third bays now, Foxbrush versus Nightmare. And a huge burst there from Nightmare. Doubles my lead here. Going into the reshuffle now, and we have Wizard Rod against Nightmare here. Aggressive start to the battle, but it's the Wizard Rod that gets the pocket on the Nightmare in the end. So Frankie has points on the board now. She's just 2 extremes away from victory. Wizard Rod here against Foxbrush. A manic start to the battle, as my Rod seems to be pretty tilted here. So not a good sign there. But manages to restabilise itself and switch the tilt over to the Foxbrush in the end. And the Rod gets the point for me there to widen the lead again. Give me a bit more breathing space as we go into the mirror match here. Silver Wolf versus Silver Wolf. Which one? Silver Wolf has the most stamina here. Both of them are tilted, but whose will go first? Mine in the end. Believe it or not there. So yeah, Frankie gets another point on the board. It's now started to become a pretty interesting final. As she only trails by 2 now. After the reshuffle, I believe we've both gone for a Wolf again, so we've got to sit through another boring one here, guys. I'll speed through this one a little bit. Yeah, we don't need to see the same thing twice again, but will the result be the same again? Yeah, it is. Frankie has managed to close the gap to 1 now. As we go into the next bays, both of us with the Rod out here, both on 160 Hexa as well. May have been a suggestion of mine to Frankie to put it on 160 Hexa, so yeah. It's like fighting myself in this round. It's like fighting myself. I do joke. But yeah, this one looks like it's heading in the direction of a spin win for myself here. Although let's see it play out. Yep, so I managed to get a little bit of daylight in this match now. I only need a point to win now, but Frankie could still take it with an extreme. But unfortunately, it gets bursted in the end by the Night Mail, and I take my 5th championship. And there you have it, guys. That just about wraps this tournament up for the week. So yeah, I did manage to win for my 2nd week in a row. Despite the elevated competition with the Nottingham lot being down. So yeah, it was a good win for me on this particular occasion. Felt quite happy about it. But in general, though, it was just a really, really fun tournament. Everyone had a great time as usual. If you're interested in coming down to Manor Forge in Derby, it is Tuesdays at 7 p.m. for those that can get themselves down. If you're much later than 7, though, there'll be a hard sort of cut off at 10 past 7. So yeah, but it would be lovely to see some new faces if any of you are interested. But other than that, guys, please remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye bye.